Hey everybody, it is Matthew Swires, author of The Maverick Method, How to Win the Startup Game, and founder of the Trademark Company, who have been fortunate enough to help literally thousands and thousands of people start their businesses, protect their trademarks, patents, copyrights, etc. And today we have a great question from one of my readers, and it is effectively, what do I do first? Do I found the business first? Do I protect the trademarks first? Or do I get my domain name first? And the answer to the question is really, you sort of got to do all three at the exact same time, but let me sort of run through it, okay? So generally speaking, back in the olden days, when you formed a company, it used to be, we always formed them in Delaware because there are different, advantages and getting sued and all that sort of stuff. But these days, states have really made it very easy to found, your company with your own state. Okay, so a company is generally going to be formed within the own state where it's going to be, or the state in which it's actually residing. Okay, so if you are in California, usually you're going to start a California company. For small businesses, LLCs is the preferred way to do it, at least in my opinion, and such. Or same thing if you're in New York, Florida. You can go through all the states. Most of you probably know most of the 50 states. So hey, there you go. But anyways, you're going to form your company in your own state. Now, a company is not the same thing as when you get the company name as a trademark name. Okay, your company name can be your trademark, but it's not necessarily one and the same. So when you actually form your company, the State Corporation Commission, that's usually what it's called, where you're actually going to form your company, is going to allow you to form your company sort of in any name, so long as it doesn't exactly match another company's name that's already in existence. So this is a lot broader than trademark. So for instance, if I decided to use Coca-Cola with all K's in a trademark perspective to sell sodas, the folks down in Atlanta that sell that really wonderful product, Coca-Cola, would probably have an objection to that, because from a trademark perspective, no, it's too close. But from a corporate perspective, that's probably going to be okay, because the names would be sufficiently different, because you're not holding it out as a trademark, you're just using it for your actual corporate name. So coming back to the first level is, you want to be able to check with your State Corporation Commission if the name is available. Most state corporation commissions, if the name is just simply off by one. So in other words, if you did Coca-Cola, honestly, with just a K as opposed to a C in the first word versus Coca-Cola Enterprises, even in Atlanta or something, they're going to say that's fine to register because it is different. Now the next level is trademarks, where you say, well, okay, so I've come up with my corporate name, but before you invest spending money in it and all that sort of stuff, what you actually want to do is make sure that it's okay from a trademark perspective as well. And so what you want to do is you're going to want to search the Patent and Trademark Office's records, but really more importantly, because the Patent and Trademark Office has become more of a niche in this day and age, not as many people file with them. There's a tremendous amount more businesses out there that are formed in the US every day, or every year rather, than file for trademark applications. So if you only search the Patent and Trademark Office, you're searching a very small section of what is the potential for other trademarks out there that you could be infringed on. So really what you want to do is, whether or not you want to protect your trademark with the Patent and Trademark Office, I have other videos on that, but you do want to generally do some type of search to make sure that you're not adopting a company name or trademark name and all that sort of stuff that is already infringing on somebody else's. And then finally, sort of the big one and the most, the most difficult one is going to be your domain name. Let's assume for a second, let's go with the name Acme.com or Acme Inc. I'm going to follow a company named Acme Inc. and an old reference to Bugs Bunny. Okay, I'm in essence going to want to make sure that I can get Acme.com. The .coms are always the most preferred level of domain name. The challenge is it's pretty darn hard in this day and age, and it has been for over a decade, to get a 4-letter .com. You're going to have to spin through the nose to get it. That's assuming someone would even sell it to you, because there's probably already a company that is basically, using that name. Back in the day, we got the trademarkcompany.com, and it was relatively easy because I've had that for over 20-something years, okay, and one of the portfolios or one of the companies owns it or whatever. But really what you want to do is, and so when you start to see the whole big picture, coming back to our original question as I've sort of rambled through this, in essence you have, okay, well, do I do my company name first, or do I do my trademark first, or do I do my domain name first? And the answer is yes. You do them all together at the same time. Now let me give you a really big bonus tip here right now on the domain names. Still to this day, GoDaddy has worked hard to eliminate this, or it depends if you go to register.com or GoDaddy to register your domain name and all that sort of stuff. But be very careful with domain names, because there are some spiders, spiders being a term on the internet, they can actually crawl through websites and basically see, okay, what domain names have people been searching? And if they didn't instantly register them, well, we're going to have a bot that actually goes out and registers it. And guess what? A week later, that domain name that you thought you were going to register, wow, this is so fantastic. I'm going to now go back and register this. Well, somebody's already registered it. Oh, and surprise, surprise, it's for sale for $3,000 back to you, as opposed to $15.95 per year, which is what GoDaddy's going to charge you or whatnot. So the point of all this is when the question comes back at us and they basically say, okay, well, what should I register or protect first? My company name, my trademark name, or my domain name? Really, you want to move on them really quickly all together at the same time, okay? And here's simply how you do it. Come up with your company name. What do I want to do, okay? First level, it's going to be the easiest search. It's going to basically go to your state corporation commission, take a look at whether or not that's going to be available with the state corporation commission. That's going to be the easiest. Okay, the second is going to be the trademark. Search Google. If you want to, search U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. Go to a professional company that will actually do the search for you. Of course, one of the companies that I run, the trademark company, will do it for you. But basically, make sure that the trademark is available as well. And then number 3, the absolute hardest one, is now finding a domain name. Now, don't limit yourself to just the name of your company all smashed together with no spaces or anything like that. So, for instance, the Maverick Method, themaverickmethod.com. I couldn't have gotten that, okay, and such. But maybe you can get the Maverick Method with hyphens between the Maverick and then method, or maybe you don't have to get a .com at all. Get a .net, a .whatever. They have country codes. The things after the .com, like a .com, is called a TLD, top level domain. All right, there are probably, I don't even know, 400 or 500 top level domains now. .com, they have the country codes. You have the work, .biz, .this, .that. If you're not wed to a .com, you're probably going to be able to possibly find your actual trademark in a .biz or a whatever it is, .info, whatever. There are hundreds of top level domains, but still .coms are still looked at as sort of the premier. And so if you want the .com, then you're probably going to have to be willing to abbreviate your trademark or come up with something else. Now, flip side, we're talking about trademarks in general or business names in general. If you do something that is completely made up, it's not made of any known words to man, it's a better chance you're going to actually get the domain name and that it's going to be okay with the state and the trademarks. So I've thrown a lot at you in this video, but the long and short of it is, when you come up with that name, okay, for your business, and that's what you want to trademark and that's what you want to get the domain name, you got to sort of do it all at the same time. So really, though, in the micro, slightly better ordering, you come up and get the corporate name in your head. Number 2, you research it both at the state level to see if it's available as a company name, and then secondly, federally and in the state as a trademark through Google, U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, or whatnot. At the same time, or that same day or whatnot, you want to see, okay, well, what domain name am I want to get as well? Then once you sort of look and see, okay, they're all sort of available, this is what I've narrowed it down to, and this should work, get that domain name immediately. That should be the first thing that you do once you think you got it going. And then the next thing would be is to get the company on file with the state, and then of course protect the trademark. And again, there are various things that you have to do, but again, there's a lot more about this and a lot more cohesive perhaps in the actual book, The Maverick Method: How to Win the Startup Game. But really, it's a great game plan for how you should do it, in what order you should actually do it, what do you need to look out for, and all that sort of stuff. Listen, this was a long one. I hope that you had some value out of it. Again, if you have any questions, thoughts, concerns, drop them in the comments. If you liked what you saw, smash like, follow for additional, good business startup information, because that's what I'm here for. And again, always pick up a copy of the book. All the stuff and more really great stuff is in the book. Remember, the book is based on my helping thousands and thousands of companies to get their start. We like to think that we know something about it and that we can provide some value for you. Again, thank you so much for watching. Any questions, thoughts, concerns, drop them in the comments. Take care.